official statement in response to the filing of the recall, and then after that you guys can feel free to ask any questions that you'd like. A lot of people are there this morning, so glad that it can be a nice intimate setting here. Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to our press conference to discuss our initiative to recall the current state Superintendent of Public Instruction, Diane Douglas. It's with much regret and disappointment that we feel the need to initiate this process to recall Diane Douglas from her current elected position of Arizona Superintendent of Public Instruction. From the very beginning, we doubted her ability and experience to serve in the best interest of Arizona schools and students. We also hoped she would prove us wrong, that she would demonstrate and communicate her actions, decisions, and intentions were in the best interests of all stakeholders of education in Arizona, especially the children. Let us make this perfectly clear. This is not about politics or about parties. This is about education. In education, we don't do Republican or Democrat, liberal or conservative, Tea Party or Occupy. We do what's in the best interest of kids, something our current state superintendent of public instruction is currently not doing. We're also not doing this because the candidate we wanted to win lost the election. Our coalition is not affiliated with a particular political party or endorsing a certain candidate. We represent the people of Arizona who have decided that enough is enough when it comes to the lack of leadership and the support of education, the lack of support that education receives in the state. We could blame the governor or the lack of leadership in the legislature, but the person who is elected to represent the interests of the education community and its stakeholders has shown no care, concern, or even cause to improve education in Arizona. How can we educate and hope, or how can we in education hope to improve the state of our profession when the person who is elected is most focusing on advocating for herself? We don't have to cite specific examples and incidents as to how Superintendent Douglas has not fulfilled her roles and duties of her elected position. We don't have to characterize or provide a profile of what kind of leader she is. Her actions and her decisions speak louder than her words. The simple reason why we are moving forward with recalling Diane Douglas is this. She has let us all down and disappointed all of us. Education is in a state of crisis in Arizona. Our schools are seriously lacking both in the fiscal and human resources needed to provide our children with the high-quality education that they are not expected but also deserve to receive. In time of crisis, we look to our elected leaders to advocate for, guide, and support us, the stakeholders of education, through such dark times. We rely on our elected leaders to speak on our behalf, not only to the governor, but also to the members of the state legislature, to the importance of supporting education. We expect our elected leaders to act in the best interest of the stakeholders whom they serve. What is Diane Douglas doing in this time of crisis? She is filing lawsuits and police reports against the Arizona State Board of Education and its members instead of litigating for the $314 million the courts ruled that the state owes the schools. She focuses more on increasing her power of her position on the State Board of Education rather than increasing the student achievement, teacher effectiveness, and overall student performance. She embarked on a "we are listening to her," only to hear the general concerns of the community do not match her personal opinions. She has consistently and recklessly jeopardized valuable and vital education funding due to her inability, inexperience, and ignorance about the profession, policies, and provisions of education. She does not hold herself accountable for her actions, behavior, or demeanor. She's blaming and refuting everyone from the governor to the court system to the stakeholders whom she serves. The people of Arizona whom she avoids by any means necessary, ranging from refusing to speak to the media, to ignoring invitations to speak at public forums, to locking herself by immersing in intense security on the 4th floor of the Jefferson Building and the 24th floor of the ADE offices on the Central Avenue. Education in Arizona needs a leader who will represent and work in the best interest of all stakeholders in education. Diane Douglas is not that leader. That is why we are moving forward with a petition to recall her from her elected position as the Arizona State Superintendent of Public Instruction. Thank you very much. Any questions or anything like that?
Talk a little bit about how many signatures you need to get and how much time you have to do.
Sure. So in order for the recall to succeed, we need 366,000, I believe it was 160 signatures within 120 days, which would land on December 30th. In order to do that, we need to average about 100,000 signatures per month. Currently, we do have the support and the infrastructure to support or to provide this many signatures. It's just a matter of Arizona just continuing to care about education, continuing to care about this effort, and continuing to reach out and support by collecting signatures and going out and volunteering.
Somebody sees this or hears this and wants to get involved, how can they get involved?
Sure, so anybody who's interested in getting involved can go to www.recalldouglas.com. They can click on the volunteer tab and they can fill out that form, and that's how they can either say that they're interested in signing, how they can offer to volunteer. They can also donate, they can read more about the recall, they can buy t-shirts. All that fun stuff is available on our website.
Well, how many volunteers do you folks have already?
So we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. It's a little difficult to say precisely how many we have. We know at the very minimum we have at least 500. We believe it is much more than that because based on the decentralized structure of our organization, the leaders who are in charge of the different volunteer teams around the state of Arizona are empowered to go out and to get volunteers and make it easy to sign people up to volunteer, to give them a petition sheet, to give them a guide for how to collect signatures, and to go out and do it. We've seen a lot of success with this. We've had teams grow from 3 to 37 just by this ability for people to go out to talk to their friends and family and to get them involved really easily.
Will there be financial support for paid signature gatherers, or will it be strictly a volunteer effort?
This is going to be strictly volunteer effort.
Do you feel like you can get the signatures you need to put this on the ballot?
Absolutely. We believe that we right now have a large amount of support that will work out very well in our favor. We have seen about an increase of about 50 volunteers just today alone based on our web form. We have seen a massive increase just this week. This structure that we are empowering our leaders and our volunteers to go out and get the support and the signatures themselves. We've had a great success with it. Our role as a leadership team is mainly just to support them. They're the ones doing all the hard work. They're the ones hitting the pavement and collecting the signatures. My job is just to make sure that they have the materials for what they need to be able to not only collect signatures, but to get more volunteers.
When will people be out signing petitions?
People are already, as soon as people start getting the petitions, which we have started to mail those out, and we have emailed those out, so people are beginning to print those out right now. So people could be already going out and collecting petitions. The beautiful thing about this is I don't exactly know who is out there collecting petitions right now because we don't have that stringent oversight that would really hamper the campaign. We make it easy. We just say, hey, here's the petition. Here's what you need to do to print it out. If you want us to mail it to you, great, we'll mail it to you. Otherwise, you're good to go. Just make sure it gets notarized and that you follow by all the policies and procedures and you're following the law and collecting these signatures and then mail it back to us or we'll collect it from you.
Cool.
Do you have any questions or anything like that? Awesome.